Hey crazies, what if I tell you that this little piece of machine, which looks like an engine, is actually running on just air being heated? Do you want to know how? This machine is actually used in some of water motors and also in some of low power airplanes. It's now time to see how a machine of this sorts, which does not require any fossil fuel to work, runs. Stirling engine was invented and patented in 1816. Despite other attempts to make air engines, this was the first air engine which was put to practical use as a water pump. Although this engine can save a lot of fuel, this was not the only intent with which it was built. At that time, steam engine was the most frequently used engine. Steam engine had boilers which led to a lot of injuries and deaths, and to avoid that, this particular engine came up. Let us now set the Stirling engine experiment up. I'll take this, this is going to act as our hot chamber which has the displacer piston, and I'll put it straight through this and I'll attach it to the flywheel. Make sure it is away from this blockage here, and we will very carefully put this small safety attachment so that this thing doesn't come off while the wheel is rotating, right? And then we'll take our cool chamber and we will put it through this. This has our power piston, and we are going to put it on the back wheel and attach the same attachment behind so that the whole thing can rotate, and the whole thing is good to rotate. We'll attach the screw here. Yeah, now it's done. And finally, we will put this pipe which is going to act as our fluid exchanger, because the hot air from this section is going to flow through this pipe and it's going to go to the cold section. And that's it. Finally, we will light up our heat source. It has alcohol inside it, pure alcohol, and it's going to provide constant heat for some time so that the engine can run. So let's put fire to this. So now our fuel is ready. Let's attach it. Make sure that the flame is not too high because that can damage this test tube. So now we'll just put it here. And we'll have to wait for about 5 to 10 minutes so that the whole chamber heats up, because only when it heats up, air expansion will happen from this side and the whole working principle will fall in place. And then once it heats up and once you're able to see some flames around this, then you can start giving it a push. So let us now look at the parts of this engine. You have a hot compartment there. You have a cold compartment here. The piston inside the hot compartment is known as the displacer piston. The piston inside the cold compartment is known as the power piston. You have a pipe which leads to the fluid exchange between these two compartments, and you have a flywheel here. Here, this part is acting as your heat source. What's happening here is, when air in the hot compartment is heated, it expands. When it expands, it pushes the displacer piston. Displacer piston moves this flywheel. Due to the momentum of this flywheel, this cold section gets compressed. Actually, the air inside the cold section gets compressed and it cools down. So as you can see, there is hot air in that section, there is cold air in this section. And because of this temperature difference, there is a fluid exchange. So now, as you can clearly notice, it's the temperature difference which is responsible for the running of this engine. In fact, instead of using this heat source here, I could have used, let's say, a very cold ice. That would also have led to a temperature difference, and that temperature difference also could have been utilized for the working of the engine. So let me throw a new term to you. This is a closed cycle air engine. What I mean by closed cycle air engine is that it does not require any air from outside for its functioning. It's only utilizing the air which is stored in its arrangement at this very moment for its working. Or in other words, it is utilizing the air which is in this compartment plus the air which is in this compartment plus a little bit of air which is present in the pipes, and that's all that it is using for its working. As you can see, this particular engine is being heated from the external. That's why it is also known as an external combustion engine. Unlike some of the other engines wherein heat is provided to the fuel and it's heated internally, this engine is heated externally. And most of these engines are much more efficient than internal combustion engines. So this Stirling engine is the alpha mode of Stirling engine. Actually, there are three types of Stirling engines: alpha, beta and gamma. Here in alpha mode, the hot part and the cold part are kept separately from each other. This reduces the leakage in the engine and in turn improves the efficiency.